What's up? How's it going? And this video, I'm going to talk about I think one of my favorite Rolexes of all time, and it is the Rolex Explorer 2, reference 16570. I have here before you a black dial M serial, which houses the caliber 3186 movement. And for those of you who are unfamiliar, this movement is housed in the ceramic Batmans, GMTs, the ceramic GMTs, all the way up to the BLRO. That one has the latest movement, and so this one is relatively, it's not rare, but it commands a slight premium over the models with a 3185 movement. And you know what? I've always had the polar dial. This is the second black dial Explorer 2 I've owned. The first one that I owned, I quickly flipped it. I didn't really get a chance to bond with it. However, this one, I spent some time with it. And you know what? I actually prefer this to the polar dial. It's kind of strange. I always thought I liked the polar dial better. That I would like the polar dial better, but then now I've had the opportunity to spend time with both on my wrist, black dial or polar dial. I think I gel more with the black dial. It's I don't know why. It just looks really good on the wrist. It looks tough. It looks really tough, right? The polar dial is more refined, it's more elegant, I feel. It's a little more versatile in the sense that it can be, you can pull it off as a dress watch. However, the Explorer 2 black dial, there's no mistaking it. This is strictly a tool watch, right? This thing can, you can do rigorous activity with it, right? It's got a steel bezel, solid steel case. This thing is literally bomb proof, right? I mean, I take good care of my watches, but should there be a should there be some kind of nuclear holocaust, and I have to rely, and I need a watch to see me through, really tough times, this is the watch I would take, the Explorer 2, for sure. This thing is just tough, it's rugged, it's robust. It's really everything good about Rolex, right? Would you? In all honesty, I prefer the Explorer 2 to the GMT. All right, there I said it. I sold my Rolex GMT Master 2, and this is what I replaced it with. Right, the Rolex GMT Master 2 is great. It's fantastic, right? It's an icon. It's a better watch, right? If there's such a thing, it is more collectible. It is more revered. It is the watch, right? But the Explorer 2, it's just as great, right? It's just as great. It has the exact same movements. The only real difference is, the bezel, really, and of course the dial, the dial print. But I honestly do prefer the Explorer 2 compared to the GMT. The reason why, well, when I go travel, I don't need to keep track of 3 time zones, and a lot of times I kind of lose track of the GMT bezel anyway. You got to remember, what the time difference is: +3, +4, -7, minus whatever, right? However, with the Explorer 2, the bezel is fixed. It's basically home time and local time. That's it, right? And I got a lot more. I guess I have a lot more confidence reading the times off the fixed steel bezel if I am on vacation, right? Of course, if you need to keep track of 3 time zones, let's say you're a trader, you're an international trader, you trade in Asia, Europe, North America, then the GMT is the watch for you, right? It is extremely ideal for you, or if you happen to be a pilot, However, for me, I'm just a recreational watch hobbyist who goes on vacations every so often, and all I really need is to keep track of 2 time zones. And when I'm on vacation, right, I don't have to baby this watch. I don't have to care too much about it. Let's do a quick wrist shot. I got my Speedmaster here, and You know, I really like the black dial. I don't know what it is about it. I think because it harkens back to the the original Explorer 2, the 1665. It looks a little more similar to that compared to the Polar Explorer 2, right? And it looks great. It looks absolutely fantastic. You know, casual luxury, the Explorer 2, right? It looks better on the wrist than in your hands, right? Some watches look great in your hands, but it doesn't look as nice on the wrist. This one's the opposite, right? It looks better on your wrist than in your hands. So, you know, if someone if someone asks me, hey Dave, you know, I want to explore it too. Should I go black dial or polar dial? I always liked the polar dial a little better, but now I'm leaning more towards the black dial, right? Get a black dial Explorer 2 and find yourself a nice dress watch with the white dial, like a Master Control or something, right? Beautiful watch, right? Explorer 2, M serial, caliber 3186 movement. Highly, highly recommended, highly, highly underrated. This is going to be a future classic. It has the same movement as the ceramic GMTs, the ceramic Batman, which, you know, probably, I don't know what they cost right now, maybe 14,000 US. However, this can be had for five and a half US. So, you know, would you rather have this or pay 3 times and get the Batman GMT? I don't know, it's up to you, right? But in my opinion, I think this is a really handsome, beautiful, tough looking watch, right? The Rolex Explorer 2 black dial. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks. Bye.